your motherfucking hands up.
What's up, guys? I'm Paradox and I'm here with another video today, and I'm here to talk about The Crew. So I was watching the Super Joystick podcast. Shout out to them because they do really good work over at Joystick. But I was listening to their podcast and they mentioned The Crew, and they may have hinted that maybe The Crew needs a bit of a delay. Now, we're just removed from the Destiny and The Crew betas. So obviously there was some hints that maybe The Crew needs a bit of a delay. Now, they said to go check the live stream that they did to see their full thoughts on The Crew. So I was like, I got a little bit of time to kill. I'll go check it out. And they were plagued by crashes and messy navigation and the messy HUD and everything. And it really got me thinking, maybe this game does need a bit of a delay, unfortunately, because The Crew is one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm sad to see it go from what I thought it was going to be to what it actually is. So originally it was planned to take like an hour to 2 hours or an hour and a half to go from coast to coast, But now we hear that it's only going to take 40 minutes to go from coast to coast. I'm like, what? Man, I was planning this grand road trip with my friends. We're going to be on the road for like an hour and a half, just going through cities, exploring, and having all good sorts of fun, right? But now it's only going to take 40 minutes to do that coast-to-coast drive. I mean, we're still going to stop. We're still going to explore cities and everything. But it's not the grand adventure that I had in my mind. And maybe that's just me getting a little bit too excited for this title. Maybe it's just me thinking and putting too much into it. But I really was excited for that trip. Now, the thing with the Crew beta was it was a proper beta. So it would crash. But I think the real thing in that was, I don't know, I didn't expect the build to be so unstable. Like, a lot of people had crashes. From every single person I saw on YouTube that put up footage of that beta, the game crashed at least once. And that brings me over to something else. The idea of The Crew, we didn't hear anything about a story in that game until this beta hit, if I remember correctly. And to hear that such a high-profile voice actor like, Troy Baker, that's who it is. Like, Troy Baker is attached to the main character. He is the main character in The Crew. He does the voice. To see him in this game was kind of weird, or to hear him, because I'm not technically seeing him. To hear his voice in this game was really threw me for a loop, because I'm like, wait, this game has a story? Like, this game has a proper story? Like, it's really story-based. And I'm like, we didn't hear a single thing about this story for the past 2 years. Like, where is this coming from? Seriously, where is this coming from? Do you guys remember hearing anything about the story in The Crew? Because I didn't hear anything about it until the beta hit. Now, there seem to be a lot of gates in the game, and I know the people from Joystick were complaining about this. The fact that, they wanted to team up. They wanted to do some co-op races and everything. But the thing is, you can't do a co-op race unless everyone has either completed that mission or is currently on that mission. So I think gates like that, and then the level gates and everything. The level gates I understand, but those sorts of gates, it kind of hinders from what The Crew seems to be trying to be, which is just you and your friends hit the open road, do races, have all this sort of fun, Fast and the Furious on the go, taking down cars and getting all the stuff, right? And getting all the loot. That seems what they're trying to pitch The Crew as, but in reality that doesn't seem like what the final product is. I don't know, the final product seems like a very story-focused, multiplayer MMO racer. It's really, really weird, and I don't know what to think about it. But, not everything is bad about this game. I think the graphics can be improved a little bit, but considering that you have the entire United States to really explore, I can't harp on the graphics that much, especially when the fast travel was so seamless, right? But I mean, they even put my hometown of Detroit in there, so I can't be mad. I can't be mad. But they did a really good job with Detroit, by the way, and I think that's one of the best things about this game. I'm not here to just talk down on The Crew, right? Because I really am looking forward to this game, and I think the fact that they included so many cities, the fact that they included Detroit, the fact that they included Seattle, my two favorite cities, San Francisco, LA, New York, even St. Louis and some other cities really made it in there, and I think that's so good, and they did a very, very good job recreating those cities in The Crew, and I think that's so awesome. Like, I'm definitely gonna go look for my house. I'm gonna go look for my friends' houses. I'm gonna really explore it and see how good of a job they did. And although they omitted certain stadiums, I think that they still did a really good job. But I don't know. As far as a delay, I mean, the UI in particular was giving people a lot of problems because they couldn't figure out how to mute people. They couldn't figure out how to invite people to their crew. They couldn't figure out, like the UI will block people. Like if you're in cockpit view, the UI in that game is going to be your worst enemy because it's going to just cover everything. So you won't be able to see. So imagine if you're in the middle of a race and you hit a tight drift. But right before you have to really maneuver your plays into, the right position to get that drift, to really hit the apex, imagine if the UI just completely covers your screen. You might lose that race. What if that's the last corner? That might really make or break that experience. So I think for people in cockpit view, this game isn't going to be as good as it can. So I think that's really interesting. The crew is also doing something very weird with its waypoints. It's gonna have the floating line in the sky, the little spaghetti line in the sky. I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. I don't know. It's new. It's weird. We're gonna have to wait until I can get hands on the game to give a full impression on that. But I don't know. There seems to be some things bothering the crew that are kind of bothering me now, and especially since these people inside the industry said that this game might need a delay. I think I can wait for the crew. I have enough racers coming out the rest of this year. If me and Sean has talked about that a while ago, but I have enough racers coming out this year. I'm gonna get my racing fix. So I think Ubisoft, if you need to delay the crew, if there are some things wrong with the crew, I do not want to rush product. Just take your time, move it to February, or move it back sometime next year. I have no problem with that. What do you guys think? Are you really excited for the crew? Are you bummed about any of the things that I said here? Make sure you go check out Joysticks Podcast for their real thoughts, and make sure you check out their podcast for just so you can see it with your own eyes. You don't have to take my word for it. Go check them out as well. Leave your thoughts down in the comments section. I will see you next time. As always, I'm Paradox, saying peace.
With a garbage group. Who the fuck you calling garbage? You bitch.